friends, welcome to our channel Simplified JABCIB. Hope you are liking the videos, and that is our motivation to do some more videos on this inside. Some of our friends were asking that when we will post questions. I may tell you that after finishing this basic concepts, we'll go to the questions, we'll post questions, we'll explain the questions. We have already made those questions, we'll give it to you as soon as possible when we finish this chapters. So this is the chapter of SARFAESI Act, and now this is the fourth part, part 4 of the SARFAESI Act. In this part, we will be reading about enforcement of security interest. Earlier I have taught what was security interest. Any bank who is having a charge on any asset, that asset is called as security, and the interest bank is holding on that, it is called as security interest. So how that security interest will be enforced? Suppose a property, somebody has taken a housing loan of 50 lakhs or 1 crore, whatever the amount is. Now he is not repaying, and after 90 days or 3 months, account has gone to NPA. First, after 90 days, it will go to NPA. Now NPA date is suppose 1/4/2020. Now, as soon as possible, bank has to sell notice to the borrower. That notice comes under section 13(2). So, first notice bank will send to the borrower on 1/4/2020. Now, this notice will give the borrower 60 days time to pay the amount to the bank, whatever is the due. 60 days time, bank will provide the borrower. Within 60 days, he has to pay the amount, or if he fails to pay the amount, bank will take over his property. Bank can take the action, required course of action. In between these 60 days, the borrower may write to bank, or the borrower may in return write a letter to bank that this is wrong or this is right, whatever he can write. He can in return reply to bank's notice. But this notice, the borrower's notice to bank, will not halt the SARFAESI process. Process will continue as usual. Now, after getting notice from borrower to the bank, bank has to reply within 15 days. Bank will reply within 15 days that what is the problem with his notice and why he do not agree to the notice of the borrower. Within 15 days, we have to reply. And this sending of notice comes under section 13(3)(a) of this act. Section 13(3) of this act, the borrower can send a notice to the bank to stop the process of this is not according to the provision of the SARFAESI. Bank will reply within 15 days. But this will not halt the provision of SARFAESI, not stop the provision of SARFAESI. Next, if he doesn't pay the amount after 60 days, if he pays the amount, bank will stop the process and the property will belong to the borrower. But in case if he doesn't pay the amount, bank has all the rights to take the action. Bank will appoint one manager or an authorized officer. Appoint one manager or authorized officer to take over the property. Now, how this process will flow? Firstly, bank has to take the possession of the property. For that, they have to take the valuation of the property. What is the valuation of the property right now? Then, the person who is initiating the SARFAESI process should not be below the rank of a chief manager in any public sector bank or any other bank. The person who is initiating the process should be minimum of the chief manager rank. Before sale of the immovable property, the borrower should be given 30 days notice that before that after 30 days they are going to sell your property. Then during the course of sale, they will be fixing one reserve price of the property. If on auction, if the bank is going on e-auction or any auction, and the amount of the property which the purchaser is giving is below the reserve price, then also the authorized person can sell the property, but he has to take consent from the creditor, that is the bank, and from the borrower. If both of them agrees, he can sell the property at a lesser price compared to the reserve price which has been kept. Now, if the purchaser wants or purchaser is in a view that he is going to buy the property, he has to deposit minimum 25% of the price which has been auctioned. He has bid 25% of the amount he has to pay. In case of immovable property, he has to pay the minimum amount by which encumbrance can be lifted. Encumbrance will be removed from that property. So this is the general process of how bank will take possession of the property. Now, if property is sold, first amount will be credited to whom? This is very important from JIB point of view. Suppose this is one big mall. Suppose this is the property of Vijay Mallya, and this property cost is around 100 crores. 100 crores. Now, these are all to be supposed because the amount is very high. Vijay Mallya, and this is SBA, and the property cost is 100 crores. Now, we have sold this property and we have got around 120 crores from this property. Bank has got 120 crores. So first amount, the bank will give it to, first amount will go to cost, charges and expenses incurred by creditor for sale or transfer. Cost, charges and expenses incurred by creditor for selling of the property. Suppose cost, charge and expense incurred is around 5 crores. So 5 crore, first from 120 crore, we will put it to this part. Second will come the secured creditor part. Now the property value is 100 crore and the loan has been given of 100 crores. Suppose the loan has been given of 100 crores, this 100 crore will go to secured creditor. Then 15 crores is left. So 15 crore will go to the person who is entitled to get, or the borrower, generally. The person who is entitled, the borrower is entitled, the rest amount will give it to the borrower. Now in this case, one more very important question comes. If we are taking over a company which is in manufacturing, which is a factory suppose. Now that factory, according to Companies Act of Indian Companies Act 2013, section 325 and 326, there is a provision that all the workmen, all the laborers who are working there, if their wages are not paid, they are at equal level of secured creditor. So that workman salary has to be paid in an equal manner as of secured creditor. Means workman will have a pari passu charge. Pari passu charge means equal charge. So first, when the money is coming, you have to give to the cost, expense, charges and expenses which has been incurred. Second, you have to give to the secured creditor or workman. Suppose workman 10 crores are pending, so you have to give workman also 10 crore. Here also 100 crore and 5 crore there. So 5 crore will be given to the borrower. Now, this is the general process of how it goes. Now, suppose the amount is less. Suppose this property is not sold on 120 crore, it is sold on 95 crores. So, bank is losing 5 crore or the secured creditor is losing 5 crore, and the charges, cost, charges, expenses, if you include, it will go above 100 crores. Suppose now bank's charge incurred is 105 crores. Now what bank can do? Bank can go to DRT, Debt Recovery Tribunal. According to the DRT 1993 Act, bank can approach DRT. So bank will go DRT and file a case that borrower has, while selling the assets of the borrower, we have not got our full amount. We need 10 more crores from the borrower. Then DRT will provide, will talk with the borrower, will call the borrower, and then DRT will settle the issue within. Now the bank has to go to DRT within 45 days of the measures are taken. Within 45 days. Within 45 days, bank has to approach the DRT. Now DRT has to dispose of the case within 60 days. But in case of any delay, DRT has to record the delay, that why that delay has occurred, and DRT has to dispose of the case within 4 months, that is 120 days. Same is in the case of borrower also. If the borrower is not satisfied with the recovery process or what has been initiated, the borrower may go to DRT within 45 days of the measures have been taken. Suppose the measure is taken on first, suppose we have taken the possession of the property on 1st June, then they have to go within 45 days to the DRT, and DRT has to dispose the case within 60 days. These days are very important, will be asked in the examination. 60 days within DRT has to dispose of, but there is a condition of delay. In case of delay, DRT has to record the delay, that why it has happened, and within 4 months maximum DRT has to dispose of the case. Now after that also, if the borrower is not satisfied, after going to DRT also, if the borrower is not satisfied with the decision of the DRT, then also he can appeal to a higher court. that is the DRAT, Debt Recovery Appellate Tribunal. This is also called as Appellate Tribunal. Appellate Tribunal. Now, there is a condition that if the borrower is not satisfied, he can approach DRAT. But there is a condition that 50% of the amount the borrower has to pay, whatever the DRT has given amount, or the whatever is the property asset value, he has to give the 50% of the amount. Then only he can approach that appellate tribunal. Now, appellate tribunal also has the jurisdiction to make it 25% of the amount. Then they will be the final authority who will dispose of the case. Now, this is all about the rights of a borrower. Another thing is that if the provisions in the SARFAESI Act are not followed clearly, if it is not done in accordance with the SARFAESI Act, then the borrower has got the every right to go to the higher court and claim the compensation from the bank. But there is no higher limit or lower limit of compensation amount till now. So this is all about the enforcement of security interest from this chapter. In the next chapter, we will discuss about the SARSAI, Central Registry, offences and penalties, and on which loans and on what part SARFAESI is not applicable. That will be the last part. Thank you guys, and have a great day. Thank you.